this afternoon. We're in Barrio Viejo, one of my favorite neighborhoods to shoot photography in, and wanted to do some minimalist work because typically I shoot here when it's really, really bright, because you're going to be able to tell that a lot of the decor and the facades of the buildings are ultra bright, very southwest. But in an overcast day, I usually shoot some minimalist work, and that's what we're going to do today. So just shooting with iPhone 11, nothing spectacular, just going to have fun with it, show you the neighborhood a little bit. This neighborhood means a tremendous amount to me. I moved here right after university, and it will forever hold a very, very special place in my heart. It is definitely one of the best places to shoot in Tucson, Arizona. Lots of construction going on here, revitalization of some of the buildings that have been dilapidated for years and years and years. Just a beautiful, beautiful area. This neighborhood is actually a very, very popular spot for portrait photographers locally, and for wedding photographers. They'll come out here with newlyweds or people who are freshly engaged and take a bunch of family and portrait shots, and there's good reason for that. It's very southwest, and it's tremendously picturesque. Arguably, this is the prettiest neighborhood in Tucson. Maybe one of the prettiest neighborhoods in Arizona. I'm just kind of having fun with the light. Nothing extraordinary. I do really enjoy taking street photography here, but I think the lighting would need to be a little bit more overpowering, like it typically is at this point in the day, which is a little after 3 o'clock. Fun little signs and knickknacks around here. Is a very local kind of neighborhood. And I do like using portrait mode on my iPhone, and typically what I'm looking for in the background is to make sure that there's not any really bright white spots, because naturally your eye is going to be attracted to the brightest part of the picture plane, and in order to draw attention to your actual subject, you want to make sure your eye isn't distracted. I think this blue and white, or green and white building in the background will be fine because it's just far enough away from this pretty hummingbird feeder. actually, we may get a little bit of rain because the rain is supposed to come in actually tomorrow, but it looks like maybe a little early because I just felt a drop. Pretty garden. Oh! There's always a welcoming committee. That dog always gets me. Back in 5. Mural is kind of new. I think it went up in the last 6 months. I'm not sure if it was painted by the president, but it looks a little extra spectacular when the lighting is right. In the evening, there is a spotlight here. Sadly, it's just the side of the house where the garbage can is kept, but it's a really cool hand-painted mural. Again, it's nothing crazy, we're just kind of having fun with line and shape, color. I moved it a little closer because I didn't want a garbage can to be in that shot. So you'll see in the video that it's basically just the side of the house where trash bins are left. But if you move in closer, you get an unobscured picture of this hand-painted mural. This particular shotgun apartment that we just walked past, I've taken many shots of at night. Because typically there's different colored lights and the floodlights in front of the house, and it adds a really picturesque facade. Jeep is always fun to shoot. I'm not a big car guy. I can't tell you the biography of this thing, but it's a pretty little devil. So with the iPhone, when I'm switching to the wide angle lens, the picture is not going to be as sharp, and that's fine. It's more for the effect, and I really do enjoy shooting with a wide-angle lens. It's a lot of fun. It adds a little bit of drama and distorts reality a little bit, which is enjoyable when you've been shooting as long as I have, and just in general, it's fun to play while we work. That's a very pretty car that lives right down the street. And that's actually kind of a hidden part of Barrio Viejo that I have not spent much time in. Just a little bit here and there, but it's maybe worth going there because there is a very, very pretty mural down that block by a known muralist here in Tucson. Her name is Jessica Gonzalez. I've done some work with her as a reporter. And she's just genuinely kind and very, very talented artist here locally. So we're going to see that in a minute. My guess is that we're going to get a little bit of rain, judging by that sky. Typically what I've noticed living in Tucson, and especially in this area for as long as I have, the storms typically come from the southwest. My guess is that they're originating off the west coast of Mexico and California, and they climb to us. But don't quote me on that, I'm not a meteorologist. But yeah, this is just like a simple, clean doorway. It's very, very pretty with the sky blowing out. It's gonna give us something really special, I think. And just fun. It doesn't have to be. I'm not looking to win the Pulitzer with this one. I just want to have some fun with lines and shape. And spend an afternoon in my favorite neighborhood. With that chat, I kind of moved the camera on an upward angle a little bit because those steps I felt were a little distracting from getting that door and that pink, and then the dynamic clouds in the sky. Again, you always want to look for those hot spots in order to not distract from what you're actually trying to capture. And sometimes you can do it, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes what you're looking for, like a house like this, I mean, it's bright white. So obviously, if you're interested in something that's going on in this home, you focus on the white. But I digress. Sometimes you roll up to a shot and you just don't like it. But that's Jessica's work. We'll get over there in a second. Because that mural looks new. Well, we got a little bit of light coming in, which is nice. It's giving me some shadows. And sometimes when I frame just clean and straight, I will also just switch to the wide angle to see what else comes in. Occasionally it'll work in my advantage, occasionally it's not worth doing. This is just really dynamic. If you've ever painted before, you gotta know that painting eyes, capturing someone's eyes is very, very difficult, and it gives you an idea of the skill set that this person is working with. And this is the kind of mural that you really can't take a bad photo of. Remember the original shot I got was something like this. When this went up and was painted, I was still living in the area. I was living a block or two east on a little alley street called Rubio. And actually my fiance and I took a tour of this home for an open house. We were thinking about renting here, but it just didn't work out. As you can see, even with a little bit of light popping in, the iridescent colors explode. But on the overcast days, it still looks very attractive down here. And I see these Christmas lights in the awning. I'm sure it would be. This is someplace I'll come back to in the evening just to get a glimpse of those Christmas lights. And what's kind of fun when you're using a wide-angle lens in a situation like this, if you stretch your arms up and point down, it almost looks like you're taller. It gives the impression of you're taller because you're taking in more information. And that can be really fun. Well, this is a dead end, and I didn't see the car that I was looking for. Maybe he wasn't. That orange car that passed us earlier was right down the way. But they are not home. I don't want to get too close to this person's house, but if you've never been to the Southwest, you'll see cactus covered this way, and it's to protect them from freezing at night. This apartment complex straight ahead was the first place I started hanging out. An old friend of mine used to live here, and actually that apartment is occupied by another old friend. Around the time I was in the University of Arizona, I was hanging out in this apartment complex a lot with an old friend. It's a pretty place. And I think it'd be worth revisiting that particular apartment complex under a different lighting situation. See what I can come up with. It reminds me I should probably hit up my friend Caitlin and see how she's doing. I met her when I was a reporter. She was currently working for one of the members of our board of supervisors. Friend of a friend, introduced. Very, very kind. I was glad to make her acquaintance. Funny enough, I don't know how I couldn't have mentioned this before. This is the neighborhood where I took on the project of creating and publishing my first paperback photography book. It is called Luces del Barrio Lights. And it documents some of my favorite Christmas lights displays all throughout these blocks. It was a goal I was very eager to meet, and it was by and large a success. And today, or by June this year, June 2022, I'll be looking to publish my second book.
Have you seen a little dog with a blue sweater on?
No, I'm just hearing that dog.
Huh?
I'm just hearing that dog.
Yeah, that's
What? So what color is the dog?
white, and he just bolted.
Yeah. What's his name?
Albernon.
Albernon?
Yeah.
Like Pima and Albernon?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know. Where do you guys live?
We're right here.
Oh, you're here? The blue building?
Yeah. I don't live there, but we were visiting here.
Okay.
So,
All right.
find him. He's very friendly. He's little. He's white.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be shooting for a little bit while, so if I can scoop him, I will. Yeah, absolutely. Someone lost their dog. That sucks. Oh, Victor Hernandez. I don't know who that is. I didn't notice that. See, with the wide angle, you can kind of make a boring artist signature a little bit more dynamic. We'll see this in post. Yeah, this is the kind of neighborhood we're in. Very southwest. Very welcoming. Looks like people who have lost their dog are now getting into a car, so they're stepping up the game. And this is just a fun little setting. Saguaro ribs, which is from the cactus, are commonly used for building material, like fences and roofs to houses. So you'll see this is someone utilizing that very old natural material. It's very southwest and very beautiful. And I always wanted to get a proper shot of this root beer sign, and I don't think it's going to happen today. Some days it's best to walk away from a shot, in my opinion. You can come back when you're feeling more inspired or have an original idea. I don't like revisiting a spot and continuing to fail if I don't need to. The detail and the color and all the construction here you can obviously appreciate. And when the sun hits this right on most days in Tucson, Arizona, that type of color is really going to pop. New construction going up here. To your left, where you're seeing this construction, used to be a big open lot, about a half a block large, or half a block in size, and it was actually a very common place for people to watch the 4th of July fireworks that take place on A Mountain, which you can kind of see in the distance. A Mountain symbolizes Tucson's affiliation to the University of Arizona. The A is their, how would you say it? Insignia, emblem, whatever the fuck. I wanted to come back for this shot because this car is mighty pretty. But it looks like we ran into some traffic. This dude just peeled through his block for the second time, so I don't know what's going on, but it's kind of weird. But hey, life's life. So they really don't want to be in the shadow. So using a wide angle lens is a little bit more difficult, but when you get it, you get it. Don't really want to think that buckling your car, I'm just taking a picture of your sunglasses. Pretty good setup, dude. Couldn't have set it up any better. Love the details. I mean, it was in like an old fucking Lincoln. And today we're just going minimalist, we're just having fun. fun with color. And I think that just about does it. I'm gonna head back to the Kia. I got dinner to make. Until next time.